wise up and resist hate speech. St. Paul, writing in Romans, Corinthians, and Timothy. Many quote from Paul's writings as a hateful, homophobic attack. It's an own goal. Paul was a fanatical Jew who dragged Christian women and men from their homes, imprisoned them and stoned them to death. Then said, sorry, because he'd changed his mind and become a fanatical Christian. Today he'd have spent the rest of his life in prison. He supported slavery, used slaves, and required them to fear and obey their masters in everything. He clearly had personal issues about sex and relationships, urging men not to marry and widows and widowers not to remarry. He said the best state was to remain, unusually then, as he was, single. He had sexist views, teaching that if you did marry, the man was in charge and the woman had to submit in everything to the man. He wrote women were idle, wasted their time, were gossips and busybodies. There is evidence that he was gay himself and hid it behind his homophobia, in stark contrast with Jesus, who had no problems with people being LGBTQIA+. Paul travelled with various young men. With Mark, he had a strangely complex relationship that led to a massive breakup and then a reunion. Timothy was only 16 when they first met. And strangely, against Paul's own teaching, he insisted that Timothy was circumcised. And he loved Onesimus, who he said was his heart. This is the man homophobes quote from when delivering their hate speech. A conflicted man who killed people for not believing what he believed and then changed his mind, who lived a secret double life, who punished himself, shaved his head, acted and lived recklessly, held sexist views and tried to stop people marrying. Christian homophobes do so because it expresses their own bigotry and prejudice. When they do, challenge them that when looking for guidance on a sensitive social issue, one should not select a serial murderer writing 2,000 years ago who was volatile, unstable, irrational, and held unbalanced views, and that no loving, godly person should ever be quoting such texts.